a huge setback for the Congress, in particular for Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, who may well have to appear in court tomorrow in connection with what's come to be known as the National Herald controversy, the National Herald scam, unless they get relief from a higher court. This after the High Court today dismissed their appeal for an exemption from personal appearance. Remember that this is a case where BJP leader Subramaniam Swamy has in fact accused the Gandhis, the mother and the son, of a property grab using and routing the money that was donated for the Congress. The BJP allegation is that tax-exempt money has been used to create a virtual real estate firm. Where does the political implication of this development stand? On our face-off on the buck stops here today, let's introduce our guest. We have GVL Narasimha Rao, senior leader of the BJP, and KTS Tulsi, member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha, also a senior advocate of the Supreme Court, is joining us as well. Let me start with you, Mr. Rao. How do you see today's development? You know, the judgment, in fact, which is before me is quite strong. It actually even goes so far as to say that the allegation of cheating, misappropriation, criminal breach of trust is justifiable. At least at this point, they're saying that the prima facie view of the court is that there is enough of a case for the Gandhis to not escape personal appearance. How does the BJP see the reaction of the Congress? Randeep Surjewala, its spokesperson, saying that this is an illustration of BJP's vendetta.
I think today's High Court judgment is very, very scathing, to say the least. I think prima facie, the court finds that the charges of cheating, criminal conspiracy, these are all sustainable. So therefore, I think, and the Congress party's explanation simply does not wash, because the court had found no merit in any legal arguments advanced by the Congress party's battery of lawyers in the court.
Yes.
And this is an old stratagem to cry foul and call political vendetta for all the misdemeanors and misdeeds carried out by the UPA dispensation and by leaders of the Congress party.
Mr. Rao, let me read out to you the operative part of the Congress statement. As part of the BJP's petty vendetta politics, a completely misconceived private complaint was instituted by Subramaniam Swamy, and it goes on to say that the Indian National Congress does not view the judgment pronounced today as a setback, because this is a case sponsored by its political opponents.
I think these sound rather very silly, these comments, because this judgment was delivered by the Delhi High Court. This is not given out by the national executive of the BJP.
Exactly.
So for them, the complaint was instituted by Dr. Swamy,
yes,
who's a leader of the BJP, who's a private citizen. It was his complaints which led to a lot of trouble for the Congress party in scams like 2G spectrum case.
Yes.
So for the Congress to presume that no private individuals or no opposition parties should really make any complaints against them, even when there is a clear case of cheating, fraud, misappropriation, I think is sounding politically naive.
Okay, let me bring in KTS Tulsi at this point. KTS Tulsi, let's, for the benefit of our viewers, very simply pare down what the allegation is. And the allegation, of course, is that the Congress extended a 90 crore interest-free loan from its own corpus to the Associated Journals company to ostensibly revive the National Herald. However, thereafter, another company called Young Indian, in which Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are 76% shareholders, for 50 lakh rupees converts this 90 crore loan into effective equity. So in other words, the 90 crore loan effectively gets passed on to the company in which Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are the majority owners. Now, KTS Tulsi, the reason that this is a scandal, and Subramaniam Swamy underlines this, is because this company, Young Indian, now controls real estate close to 2,000 crores. So effectively, for paying 50 lakhs, it has acquired the control of real estate worth 2,000 crores and that 90 crore loan has effectively been waived off for 50 lakhs.
Okay. But firstly, I want to say that I am not a lawyer in this case, so
yes,
I don't know the facts of this case, whatever are the allegations and whatever are the arguments.
Yes.
I have not seen the judgment.
Yes.
But the context in which happened was that in 2008,
Yes.
these are the facts in public domain. In 2008, the National Herald stopped printing.
Yes.
And by 2011, the arrears of about 90 crore had swelled up
Yes.
mainly towards the salaries that had to be paid to the staff. And they didn't even have that money. Now, in order to bail them out, the Congress party gives 90 crore loan.
Yes.
Because after all, the objects of National Herald
Yes.
or the objects of the associated journals were to propagate the values of democracy and secularism. The same are the objects of the Congress party itself. Now, if it has, the new company is a charitable company, is a company with charitable objectives, where not one person gets a penny. Now, I don't understand how
Yes.
the court could have arrived at the conclusion that prima facie it shows cheating, because there is no false representation even
Tulsi,
alleged
Mr.
to have
Tulsi,
been made
Mr.
by
Tulsi,
Dr. Swami.
Mr. Tulsi, one of the questions that is raised by the court judgment today, it will answer your question, and that is that considering that the Associated Journals Private Limited owned all this real estate, the court wants to know why AJL simply did not sell off Herald House to or one of the other properties to revive this National
Why
Herald.
would they sell
Why
off?
did
Because
it
they don't
need,
want
why
to-
did it need a 90 crore loan from the Congress party, which is tax exempt money?
Because the Congress party has an emotional bond with this company. This company was founded by Jawaharlal Nehru for propagating the ideals of secularism and democracy.
So
Congress
sell off a
party
building.
deeply feels about these
Why
causes.
not sell off a building?
And they want
Why
to
not
continue.
sell off a building? Why not sell off one of
Why-
the buildings?
Well, nobody, it's a free country. They can sell off a building or they can not sell off a building. Nobody can say that you have to sell off. There is nothing wrong in establishing a company with charitable purpose. It's a company which is only going to do propagation of the same values for which the Associated
Okay, let me get in
Journals,
GVL Rao.
and they can only trust the Congress party.
GVL Rao,
How can anybody restrict their right to do it?
No, I think the question.
No one can
the
say that you
question,
don't
sir,
have the
the
right.
question, sir.
I think it's
the question, GVL Rao. I'll
court-
just get one sentence and then you can react. The question, Mr. Tulsi, is that for 50 lakhs you've effectively bought off 90 crores and then seized control of
Bought
real
off
estate
for
worth
what
2,000
purpose?
crores.
For charity.
Okay, it's charity.
What is
GVL Rao,
bought
respond
off?
to that.
Bought off is for charity.
GVL Rao.
Yes.
I think this is not a Congress party convention that Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi have to convince. These questions are being asked in a court of law. And the court of law clearly understands the motive behind this. The motive seems very clear.
What is the motive?
But for a pittance...
He's asking you what the motive is. He's asking you what the motive is.
No. I think
The motive is to propagate
seems to be to
the
acquire.
ideals.
Please let me
To propagate
please
the
let me
ideals of
complete.
democracy
It's so
and
noble.
secularism, which the government doesn't like.
It's not so noble that Mr. Tulsi would
That's the
want you
motive.
to believe. He speaks for the Gandhi family. Let's, I think, make that fact also known. He speaks for them on all cases, but that's besides the point. The issue, the clear
I can
motivation
speak for
is
whoever I like.
you acquire. Fine, you can. The motivation is to acquire a property worth thousands of crores
Motivation
of rupees
is
in the
propagate the
private
values of
hands. Please,
secularism.
I think why are you getting so nervous, Mr. Tulsi? Tomorrow is only tomorrow they have received summons to go to the court. Don't get hassled up.
No.
Please
BJP,
wait for your turn.
BJP
Please
should
don't
come
get
up
hassled
front
up.
and not use
Please
proxies.
don't get hassled.
Okay, make
Please
your point,
don't get
Mr. Rao.
hassled.
Mr. Rao,
You're
let me
just
ask you a
using a
question.
proxy.
Okay, Mr. Rao, let me ask you a
No,
question.
I think he's not letting me speak.
Okay,
This
let
is
me
not
ask. Let me
fair,
come in
Barkha.
here. Let
Please
me come
tell
in
him
here.
to-
Let me come in here. Let me ask Mr. Rao a question. Mr. Rao, the Congress defense is that Young Indian is a not-for-profit company wherein Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are not drawing a salary and they are not allowed to sell property and make many money off it. So the question of profit does not arise. How do you rebut this defense?
I think this is only a facade. I think who owns the majority shareholding in that company? Between the president and vice president, today's president and vice president, a family, mother and son, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi together own 76% of this company.
Yes.
And in any private limited company where you have 76% shareholding, you have sweeping powers. You don't need to ask anybody a thing. Even the other shareholders do not
wait
really
for that to
matter.
happen.
That is how the law. That's how the law of the land is.
Mr.
is.
Tulsi.
And they have today a
Yes.
complete control over a 5,000 crore assets. And
Yes.
they could have done
All
possibly
right.
a
That's not a
Vadra-like
crime.
operation.
Now, Mr.
They could
Tulsi,
have done a Vadra-like operation.
You're comparing this to Vadra.
right.
You're comparing this to the Robert Vadra case, Mr. Rao?
Possible. They could have done a Vadra-like operation.
Elaborate on
They
that.
could have sold
Elaborate
off
on that.
this-
Elaborate on what you're claiming, and then I'll get Mr. Tulsi to respond.
I think, you see, when you have 76% shareholding, they have, I think, complete authority. Tomorrow they can say, for the ideals of this company, again advancing the so-called secularism which they swear by, they will say we have to sell this asset, and tomorrow they could have sold it at a pittance to Robert Vadra. And converted this into private fiefdom.
Tulsi,
That's
Mr.
how all this is
KTS
this seems
Tulsi.
to be the motivation behind
KTS
this.
Tulsi, the BJP is saying this could be a Vadra-like operation. Please respond to that, and then I want to read out another bit of the judgment to you.
You
Mr.
see,
Tulsi.
this is a figment of their imagination. At the moment, they ought to have waited for something to happen. Nobody has taken a penny. The entire company, no one even alleges making any false representation. There can't be any cheating. There is no entrustment. So therefore, there can't be any criminal breach of trust. Misappropriation, whoever has got a penny. So I think that the High Court has gone completely wrong. None of the ingredients are even alleged in the FIR, and it's nothing but an abuse of the process of criminal law, according to me.
So are you questioning the objectivity of the judge, Mr. Tulsi?
No, I'm not questioning. I think that the judge may have gone wrong.
Let me read out
After
to
all,
you.
I also know a little bit of criminal law.
Of course, but
I know that. I have seen the FIR. FIR does not have the ingredients of any criminal offence.
Okay, but let me read out to you what the judge has said, Mr. Tulsi and Mr. Rao. The judge says, in any case, writing off such a huge debt by a legendary political party is indeed questionable. It needs to be answered by genuine shareholders were marginalized. Such a questionable conduct of petitioners certainly invites allegations of committing the offences for which the petitioners have been summoned. Is this not criminal misappropriation of the Congress party's funds?
No.
These are very strong words from the judge.
It is not. All right, but is it not? Where is misappropriation? Who has taken the money? The entire money is paid through banking channels. It is lying in the bank account. No one is accused of having taken anything from that company. How does it become misappropriation? Who has appropriated? What to talk of misappropriate? The entire money has been lying in the bank accounts. I think the learned judge has perhaps made a serious error of judgment.
The learned judge has made an error of judgment. GVL Rao.
No, I think the judge
Yes.
has gone into the full details of the case, and Mr. Tulsi has said, I think has claimed that he did not see the judgment. So let me read out one part of the judgment. I think the judge has clearly understood, it seems he understood the intent behind this. He said this Young India has been floated as a special purpose vehicle.
Yes.
And that, I think everyone understands, anyone who knows the technical language understands what the purpose of this. The special purpose vehicle's actually primary role is to acquire this company, acquire the entire AJL and all its assets for practically nothing, and place it in the personal hands of few individuals who are currently office bearers in the Congress party. So Young India is not the same as Congress party. They would want you to believe that. But this is not the case. These are individuals who have acquired ownership, private ownership, over a 5,000.
Mr. Rao, the Congress's lawyers said in court that even the BJP owns newspapers. What is wrong if we wanted to own one?
I think that's a very farcical argument. I think Young India, is it owned by the Congress party today? Let me ask this question. Is the Congress party allowed to float special purpose vehicles? These are individuals who are currently controlling the party, who have, I think, tried to really siphon off. This is the term used by the honorable judge. The attempt is to siphon off the assets into a private vehicle.
What is the
and that special purpose
locus
vehicle owned by
standi
individuals.
of the BJP vice president?
But
what
Mr.
is the
Tulsi,
locus standi
Mr. Tulsi, the judge
of the
says,
BJP?
Mr. Tulsi,
if
the
that's a
judge
corporate
says,
offense.
Mr. Tulsi, the judge says in his judgment that the locus standi of Subramanian Swamy is not relevant. He in fact says that because the party has gained money from donations from the ordinary public, any citizen can raise this question. This is what the judgment says. Now my question to you, Mr. Tulsi, is this.
I don't think that's correct.
No, but ये judge ने लिखा है, sir.
I don't think that is correct.
Sir, the judge has written this.
जज ने लिखा है.
हाँ, ये judge ने लिखा है.
जज ने लिखा है. मैं कहता हूँ कि ये सही नहीं है.
लेकिन मेरा दूसरा सवाल, let me ask you my next question, Mr. Tulsi. The next question is quite simply this, that for a 90 crore loan effectively gets transferred to young Indian for a price of 50 lakh rupees. Let's bring this controversy down to what it
about
is.
90 crore?
90 crore given from Congress to Associated Journals, 90 crores, and then young Indian pays 50 lakh rupees and gets control of real estate worth 2,000 crores. Who will pay back that 90 crores? What happened to that 90 crores?
For what purpose? You see, with that estate of 2,000 crore, they couldn't even pay the salaries for 3 months. There's a humanitarian issue. And for that you had to raise money. If you have to raise money, then you have to see as to how are you going to be able to revive the company or fulfill the objects of the company, which is being taken over. There is nothing wrong. It's not a crime in this country to seek to propagate the ideals of secularism or democracy. Not yet. If it becomes a crime, then so be it. We will see at that time.
No.
But
The
there
question,
is
Mr. Tulsi,
no
is
false
the question is by all means the Congress
on the basis of which
Sir, the question is that Congress is free to propagate what it wants to, just as the BJP is. But how can the Congress get a deal that is worth 90 crores just in the loan itself for 50 lakhs? How does this company, young
मैं ये
Indian,
कहता हूँ
हाँ,
कि मियाँ बीवी राजी तो क्या करेगा काजी? अब स्वामी जी क्या पूछेंगे उसके बारे में?
Mr. Rao,
this is a deal between two companies with regard to the Congress property.
This is where
this
the
is
fundamental.
Congress property.
No, he's now open about it.
Yes.
Mr. Tulsi is now open about it.
Yes.
Now he's saying these are the properties owned by a media organization which had linkages with the Congress party. What if we siphon it off? What if we siphon it off? I think
no siphoning.
This is what it eventually...
This is
no. He's saying the same thing.
This is a company
these
made for charitable purpose,
which have common objectives as the Congress party. So we have a right to siphon it off.
Right.
I think if that is the argument, please go and place it before the
happens to be
Honorable Court
founded by Jawaharlal Nehru.
try and convince the court. The people of India, I think from the very facts in this case, know that this was yet another Vadra-like operation. Where thousands of crores worth public money
BJP will take no action against
its
own ministers.
Public limited company has been, I think the attempt was to siphon it off very quietly.
Well, it's going to be...
And maybe in course of time, this would have been transferred into private assets.
Tulsi, very quickly, I've got to close now.
People are watching.
People are watching, and we will know tomorrow morning in court.
It's hypothetical.
It's going to be an important day in court tomorrow as the Congress seeks an appeal against a High Court judgment, a very strongly worded High Court judgment that believes that there are justifiable allegations, including criminal breach of trust, against the Congress party. This is a big political story. We'll be back with it tomorrow on the buck stops here. GVL Narasimha Rao, KTS Tulsi, thank you for joining us. That's it on the program. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.